Hello, and thank you very much for joining me once again on this channel. My name is Eyangu James, and you're most welcome to this channel. A few days ago, I remember a lady coming to me and she said, James, I don't know why one of these days I don't feel like I'm up to date with information. Looks like a number of things just fly by me and I don't even know that the things are flying by me. I don't know what is happening. I no longer have the fire that I used to have, or rather, let's call it the motivation that she used to have. She no longer wants, she's no longer in touch with the things she used to follow up very critically. This time around, she's saying, what is the problem really? And I knew for a fact that she was not working because she had become a student, and she interacts very much with those that are still in the field, who are working, who are making money, and they seem to be making progress. And I understood that actually at one point she might be comparing herself with those people that have gone ahead of her. Now, her situation is not any much different from that of many of us, that are going through this life, and for some reason maybe our age bracket demands that we should be at a certain level of success, and yet we do not seem to exhibit that level of success. So I told her a few things, but her issue was really on complacency, and this is what I want us to look into today. So what is really complacency? There is one source that informs me that complacency is a feeling of calm satisfaction with yourself, with your own abilities, or a situation where you no longer want to try a little harder because of what you already have. Complacency. One time during an appraisal that I had to do with my employer, they warned me actually against complacency. I don't know what was happening, but probably for some reason they did not want me to feel comfortable at work. Of course, it has a lot of dangers, like we're about to see. And so they did not want at any one moment me or any of the other workers to gain the feeling of complacency, because complacency makes you feel like you have achieved it all, like you have it all. You are relaxed about things. You don't try, you don't challenge yourself, you don't do a number of things. And we are going to look into 6 factors today that could tell you that actually you are being complacent. Now, I still came across another quote that is very interesting, and this quote says, the real tragedy in life does not lie in our failures, but it lies in our inability to try a little bit harder than we are trying. For us to live below, and yet we could actually do better than average. That is where the real tragedy in life is. So, what are some of these factors that could show you or warn you that actually you're being complacent? Number 1 on the list is lack of ambition. Each and every person must have a dream of their own, and they must have a vision, something that is going to inspire them to live their life beyond just the average. That they will keep trying, they want to achieve something because they're ambitious. It becomes a driving force to our lives that we can keep on doing. You don't get tired of doing what you're doing because you are ambitious, you have a dream to fulfill, you have a vision that you look up to. Therefore, if you lack ambition, then you're probably being complacent. That is factor number 1. Let's look at factor number 2. Your inability to give yourself a chance to learn a little bit more than you already know means that actually you're being complacent, and that is very dangerous. When you stop learning in this world, you stop growing, because we're living in a very dynamic world that is technologically oriented and very diverse. There are so many resources that we can tap into, and it's our ability, how well we know how to use the resources that we have at hand, that actually determines how well we are going to situate ourselves in any position in this world. Therefore, everyday situations should be a learning ground for us, an opportunity for us to acquire new skills and knowledge every single day. Factor number 3. Lack of self-challenge. When you are at a time when you no longer challenge yourself to move out, to try out something new, something great that you haven't tried before, then you know that you're being complacent. You must challenge yourself every day because we live in a dynamic world. Previously, we used to say that survival for the fittest. This is like a jungle law. We can still apply this law here where we are, that if you don't challenge yourself every day to become better than you were yesterday, then you are only being complacent. Take, for example, a man will say, no, I will write this book tomorrow. I'll start writing the book next year. Who told you that a book can be written in one day? You must know and appreciate that to write a full book, no matter the size, the size of that book, you must be able to write a few words every day until one day you can put these words together and you have a complete book. And yet some people say, I'll do it tomorrow. They procrastinate. They don't want to challenge themselves for that day. They say, I will do this tomorrow. That is a very wrong attitude. Check yourself. If you are having any of that, I will do it later, I'll do it tomorrow kind of attitude, let that go, because already it's a very good sign that you're being complacent with yourself. Let's look at factor number 4. Factor number 4, you reject change. If you find yourself against new ideas that are going to cause a transformation to yourself, to your routines, or it's going to switch up somehow your energy, switch up your thinking or something like that, you don't want. So if you resist change, you prefer rather to be in your comfort zone than allow to gravitate towards that which is new, then you're being complacent. At the end of the day, you don't learn anything new, you don't become better than you were yesterday, because maybe for some reason you have this attitude that says, I don't really care, okay? You're being complacent if that is somewhere lingering within you. Number 5, you stop growing intellectually. The moment you find you're not reading any new books, you're not challenging or investing rather into your intellectual capacity, it means that you're already being complacent. I mean, how many books do you read? I am challenged by those people who say they read at least 2 books per week. And yet many people find it very challenging to read 1 book in 2 months. What is different about you and them? I once walked into an ambassador's house, one of our ambassadors from Uganda. I walked into his house and I saw the books that were in his house. He had actually a library, like a place where he had a number of books. I said, wow. And I discovered this was a common thing because I visited a few other houses of very prominent people in my country, and one thing was in common. I saw books, they had libraries, they had studies, a room where they sit and study. I found that very interesting. These guys invest in their intellectual ability, capability, capacity. They invest intellectually. So if you're not investing intellectually, then you're being complacent. Factor number 6. If you don't feel scared or nervous, oh my God, you're probably complacent. We are taking risks day and night. Some people fear to take a risk at all. We are told that in business, entrepreneurs and some of these greatest businessmen, these guys take risks. But what does it mean to take a risk? It means your chances of failure are very high. It means your success is not guaranteed. So anything can happen and you go, yes. So if you're not taking any risks in your life, you're not trying out something challenging, something that you fear, if nothing is making you nervous for whatever reason, then you're probably being complacent. You must step out, snap out. I love to say snap. Snap out of that, feeling, step out of that zone, that comfort zone where you're not nervous about anything, nothing is challenging you, nothing is triggering your thoughts capacity, nothing is causing you to come up with new ideas, you're not solving any riddles, nothing is happening, then probably you're being complacent. That was our factor number 6, and I pray and I hope that all these 6 factors meant something to you. Change one of them. Check if you are not aligning with any of them, then you're probably being... If you are aligning, check yourself to see where you need to put your effort in those 6 factors that I have just mentioned. Now, I want to mention very slightly as I'm ending my presentation to you that complacency is one of those things that affects even relationships. And when we talk relationships, we are meaning our personal intimacy. We are talking our personal, intimate relationships. We are also talking relationships with our bosses and, in our workplaces, with our colleagues. And in one of the videos I will do, may God help me to follow up on this. On one of the videos that I will do, we shall talk a little bit into complacency, what complacency does to our work relationships, what it does to our interpersonal relationships with our colleagues, our friends, and even in our own relationships, intimate relationships. Thank you for having joined me on this video. My name is Eyangu James, and thank you very much for joining this channel. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's grow the audience. Let's reach a number of people. God bless you so much.